So hats off to that entire coaching staff at PD Academy. I'd like to see them get that first state championship since '95, and maybe if they bring it back up in Marion County. I thought I was about to cry.
It's getting emotional about these boys.
I just got choked up.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Two Guys Talking Sports.
How about them Cowboys?
It was embarrassing.
You had a whole week to prepare, and you lose the football game.
Never good off to bye.
That is a horrible excuse.
Well, maybe we should all go and pray about it at Union Baptist Church. Today's sponsor. The holiday seasons are coming up. If you don't have a home church and you want somewhere to go during the holiday season, make sure you go check out Union Baptist Church. All right, let's jump into it. This is cover 4, and we are not associated with that show.
Not associated.
All right.
I am taking my notes on a cover 4.
There you go.
Printout.
Just write all over it.
That's right.
Dillon took on Brooklyn Casey Saturday night.
It
was supposed to be Thursday night.
Yeah.
Well, initially Friday night.
Well, when the hurricane comes in, you have games being moved to Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm.
Some people played on Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm.
Some people played on Thursday night. Friday, bad weather, bad field conditions, moves it to Saturday.
Yeah, and that happened for both Dillon and Lakeview. PD, like you mentioned, played on Wednesday night.
Right.
But let's jump into it. Dillon took on Brooklyn Casey, got the win 35-21. And there was some drama at the end of this game. Not sure what happened.
So the quarterback was taking a snap at the end of the game.
For Dillon?
For Dillon, they're running out the clock.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the Brooklyn Casey defenders, after the whistle's blown, gives a good check to tight end on the Dillon side. And then you get mouthing from the opposing coaching staff, from the players. It's not in my opinion, it's not like a professional or a good look, especially when your coaching staff is setting that example for the kids on the field.
Yeah.
Right. But congratulations to the Wildcats. Yeah. I think that whole situation on the Dillon side was handled about as good as it could be handled.
Especially from the video. And the good thing is they got footage on. All you can see is the Dillon players and coaches like, we ain't dealing with this.
Right. And hats off to Coach Roller, Zach, the whole staff there that, they pulled the kids out, get their team on, avoid the conflict. Because if conflict happens there, that helps nobody.
Agreed. So congratulations to the Wildcats. This time of the year, don't matter how pretty you win or how much you win by, just win in advance.
That's right.
Lakeview took on Cross, so they had to go travel down to Cross. That was, like we said, another one that was played on Saturday night. And unfortunately for the Gators, took a loss this year to end their season, 21-8.
Tough loss for the Gators. I know they had some key players that were under the weather, sick, not sure if they could play. Not typical for a Gator football team. There were either some penalties or some pretty rough calls at the end of that football game that kind of changed the way things went. And I think that's twice that's happened to Lakeview this year. Mm-hmm. So I look forward to covering the Gators next year and seeing what type of run. Yeah. And they'll have some players back healthy, of course.
Agreed. And we knew Cross was going to be tough coming in. They were 9-2. They were, I think, the number 1 seed.
Right.
You got to travel down to them. You think you're going to play Friday night and Thursday night and Saturday night. You got players under the weather.
Sure.
No excuse, but all those things are factors into, what leads to a loss. But still a good year for the Gators, 8-4.
If I had to bet, Coach King's got them preparing for next season today.
Yeah, they were probably in the weight room 6:30 this morning, if not earlier than that.
That's what happens when you build a good football program.
Agreed. And then PD took on Pinewood Prep in Lower State, and they won 42-27, and this was on Wednesday night, so they bumped this one up 2 days earlier. Expected PD to win this game, but, you never know what happens when you bump a game up 2 days.
Hudson Spivey broke the all-time record at PD Academy for passing touchdowns, I believe.
Yeah. He accounts for like 300 to 400 yards every game on average.
He's a ball player.
Yeah, he really is. And Lakeview with that, with PD with that win, they're going to be playing for state championship in their first year in 3A.
But the path that they took to get there, they played one game, and that one game is the Lower State Championship game. So they had a week off to prepare for that game. They had that game early on a Wednesday night, and then they got another week and a half to prepare for the state championship game. So hats off to the Eagles on a great season so far. Look forward to covering them for the state championship game, and hopefully they can bring it back home to Marion County.
Yeah, I think they got of all the seasons that we've covered them. I think this is probably their best chance.
Sure.
They did come within 28 seconds one year of winning state.
I don't
maybe
think
2
they've
or 3
won a
years
title
ago.
since when, 95?
It's been a long time. Like I said, they had that. I mean, they were there inches away a few years ago, and they've been working their way back ever since. And here they are, and I think they got a really good chance. So let's jump into it. We got 2 teams left. We'll start with Dillon. They are traveling to Camden. Camden 9-3 on the year. This is a game that people have been looking forward to. Didn't face each other. For some reason, I thought they faced each other in the middle of the year, but I went back and looked. We were thinking about Manning, I think.
Okay. I'm taking the Cats.
Yeah, I'm going to take Dillon as well.
I don't think you can.
Well, say what you want. I'm taking them.
Yeah.
We're both 5-2 here in the playoffs. And then this coming up Saturday, 7:30 at Charleston Southern University, PD will play Florence Christian for the state championship game. They have played each other already this year, and PD won 40-14. But previous matchups don't matter. We've already seen that in the playoffs with Marion. You got to have your head in the game. You can't be thinking, oh, we've already, beat this team. Should be an easy win because, they've played you. They found out what their weaknesses were as well. Neutral site, 7:30 game. This is the big one. I think they play the 4A game on Friday night, so PD has the prime spot Saturday night. I'm taking PD.
Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles.
I think that they're
Florence Christian's the Eagles too.
Yeah,
I'll take PD.
I think that PD will get their first state championship in almost 20 years, 30 years.
95.
Yeah,
27.
So, congrats to the Eagles on making it back to the state championship. I know when we did the coaches preview show, when I went over to Mullins and was talking to Coach King, he was nervous. Rightfully so. You move up a class, it's always hard to tell kind of how it's going to go. Numbers wise, it wasn't like they gained a ton of numbers to move up. But when you get up there, that's usually where wins and losses take place is depth. What happens in that fourth quarter when one team has, 20 more players than you do.
And when you get to this stage in the season, you're playing for a state championship. You're not there by coincidence.
Right.
You're there from hard work, coaching, talent. Listen, I mean, that's what you're there for. So hats off to that entire coaching staff at PD Academy. I'd like to see them get that first state championship since '95, and maybe if they bring it back up in Marion County. I thought I was about to cry.
It's getting emotional about these boys.
I got choked up. I don't know why. If they bring it back home to Marion County, maybe we can have Coach King or Coach Drew or somebody bring the trophy and sit down.
Maybe they need to bring a box of tissues with them.
I was not.
It's kind of emotional about
I was not.
PD.
My throat went dry on me.
Come on, now they used to be our rivals. You over here crying about
my throat went dry on me.
Great day. All right, so Dillon in round 3 of the playoffs.
You remember when I used to yell when that would happen to me?
Yeah, this man can't get above a certain octave. No matter what he tries, it just cuts off.
That's what happened to me there.
Yeah. Dillon will travel to Camden Friday night, and then PD will take on Florence Christian at Charleston Southern University Saturday night at 7:30 for the state championship game. So we look forward to being able to look forward to another game next week.
Right.
Because, as long as Dillon wins, they'll be the only team we cover, moving forward, because this is it for PD, win or lose.
That's right.
All right, so we'll see you next week. Cover 4 Thursday night. There's a lot to talk about there, I guess. We'll see you then.